Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a lovely day. Today I want to bring you a 1 month update on my no-buy. This is my third year doing a no-buy and each year I've done a slightly different system. This year I'm doing a cashless envelope system, but if you have no idea how that works because you've not seen the first part, then I will link that up above. It will make much more sense if you've seen that video so you'll understand what I'm doing here. I'm going to break down my spending for the first month, so throughout January, and let you know how I did and also what money I am designating to each envelope for February. The main reason I'm doing my no-buy this way this year is to ensure that I'm thinking ahead and planning for the money I'm going to spend for the upcoming month rather than thinking about it after the fact. So I'm only going to be spending money that I have planned for and designated to each area of spending. Let's start off with the family envelopes this time. So last time we did the personal ones first, so let's do the family ones first this time. So the big one is groceries. So I just took out my notebook and as you can see, this is a page just for family spending and I put the amount of money we have available. So this is after all our other regular bills and expenses come out of our account. This is what's left over. And I mentioned it last time, the only reason I'm putting grocery in here, even though that's pretty much a bill and expense, is because I want to track it. I felt we were spending too much money on groceries, so I've given myself a stricter budget for this year, and so I wanted to track it, so I created an envelope for it. And that's one of the great things about this system. If there's anything you want to track, keep an eye on, make an envelope for it, and then you don't really have to bother thinking about those expenses that are regular and the same all the time. So for example, I don't have one for my mortgage because that's exactly the same every single month. So all the fixed bills and expenses that come out, I've accounted for those first, and then the envelopes just cover money I have left over and how we spend that, and I've included groceries in that. So I want to continue with a budget of £65 per week for groceries, and once again I've looked ahead in February and we do our grocery shop on a Friday and there are 4 Fridays in February, so 4 lots of £65. I have budgeted for £260 in February. Now, if we dive deeper into our envelope, that was the same amount last month. I put £260 in last month. So I've just got a little piece of paper tracking each week just there. So in the first week, we spent £63.37, which was under budget. In the second week, £65.57, which was just 57 pence over budget, but I knew I was under budget the previous week. So when it was a matter of pence, I thought that was fine. The third week, £64.52, and the final week, £60.87, bringing us in for a total of £254.33, which meant I have £5.67 left over to carry on into the next month. It didn't feel like a struggle staying within this budget for all our main grocery shopping things. We were able to have really nice meals and that was all fine. The areas where it was a little bit tricky were weeks where maybe we needed a few more cleaning products because things were running low, and it was really, really obvious that there was no space left for treats or anything more extravagant, which didn't matter in January because, you know, we've still been working through sort of biscuits and chocolates that we got for Christmas, so we really didn't need any treats. But going forward, it's going to be very obvious that there isn't very much sort of treat food in the house, which in one way is going to work really well for me because I want to get back on track after the Christmas period with eating better and looking after myself better. So there will be that. But you know, every now and then you do want a treat. So even though I have underspent and I have got money carrying over into the next month, I'm still going to put in £260 so that over time, hopefully, if I'm really good and I go under budget, that will build up and maybe then I can have a treat here and there, or if we really build it up, then it can be for something amazing like Christmas. So we will see, but that is my grocery shop for the first month. So we stayed under budget and so that is fantastic. And then I just popped that piece of paper in the envelope so it's just keeping track of what we spent, and then on the front you can just see, so that was the January availability. This is the new money I'm putting in for February, so our new £260 plus whatever is being carried over from the previous month, which gives us £265.67 available in February. I might use all of it, I might not, and so maybe there'll be some to carry over into March. My next one is gifting. We didn't spend anything on gifts, which I absolutely expected. I looked at my calendar before I started and there were no birthdays or anything coming up in January, so I knew I wouldn't have anything to spend there, but I did want to sort of start building this up for when birthdays do come around and then eventually Christmas. So I had £30 in it already, which I haven't spent, and I've put another £30 in this month as well, just to slowly build that up. So you can see £30 new money going in, plus £30 carried over is now £60 available in our family gifting envelope. We do all of our gifting from our family gifting envelope. The only time I would buy gifts not from this is for when it's for my husband. We buy gifts out of our own money, obviously, and then any other gifts for anybody else come out of family money. Up next is the household envelope. So I originally put £50 into this. This is really to build up in case something happens, we need to have repairs done or replace anything in the house, or if we would like to make a joint purchase for the house. I do have a personal household one, but that's really more for any little maybe decorative purchases that I want to make, things we probably don't necessarily need, but I'll get onto that one when we do the personal envelopes. So it had £50 in it last month, but I spent £23 because we bought some bits and pieces for our bunnies. We've decided to fully free roam them in the house now, rather than them being out in our garage. So they were in our garage, they had a big space, they had a hutch connected to a run and then an extra pen. But even then, we just felt like we wanted to have them out and have them with us in the house. And honestly, they have been so much more friendly since doing that. So this is a complete side story, but anyone that wanted an update, they have been absolutely amazing. They are so much more interactive with us, and so it's just been so lovely having them actually in the house. But we did just need a few tiny little bits and pieces to do that, and that only came to £23, which meant I had £27 to carry over. And because, again, this is one I would really like to build up in case anything happens, I put another £50 in this month with our 27 carried over for £77 now in this envelope. Granted, that's not very much at this point in time if something does happen, but I'm kind of thinking of this as the envelopes will sort of have to take turns in which one gets sort of a larger deposit in each month to slowly build them up over time. So this one's not really had a big one. And with our groceries having to come out of this as well, there isn't a lot left to play with after that. So we'll hopefully build it up over time. We'll see how we go. So this is the one that's taken sort of the bigger amount of money this time, and that's experiences. So last month I put in £40 for experiences. We didn't do anything and we didn't go anywhere. So the £40 is still there, but this month I've decided to give all of £100 to this envelope. So we've now got £140 sat in there, whether that's for taking a trip, maybe when it warms up a bit later in the year, or if we just want to go out for a meal, something like that. There is money building up in here. So that's what I mean. This time I put a bit more in this one this month, and so maybe next month I put a bit more in the household one to start building that up. And that's what I mean by sort of alternating between them. So that one has now got £140 and we had no spending in that area this month. And finally in the family one, it's basically, I call it savings, it's money left over. So we had that £530 available, and after I'd done everything else, this month there was just £90 left over. So last month I put 150 in, but luckily nothing happened that meant we had to dip into that. So we're still carrying over that 150, plus I'm putting £90 in this month, which means we have 240 available. This is also kind of an emergency fund, or if there isn't anything that goes wrong, then just savings for something nice for us in the future. So that's all of the family envelopes. So now we can do the personal ones. And once again, I just did the same thing. So my personal money left over is not as much. That's just £380. And for me, so this is from my personal income, that's after I've made my contribution to our joint account where all our bills come out of, after I've done all of my savings, because I always say it, that's my next priority, then there's £380 left over at the end that I can do what I like with. There's actually a little bit more than that, but I have other personal expenses like my mobile phone and my contact lenses. So even after that's gone out, then I have £380 left to play with. So let's have a look. My first one that is always going to be my priority is my car, because I need to keep that running to go to work to earn the money in the first place. That's why I put a minimum spend on here, because when it gets to the point in the year where I have to have my MOT, I'll need to pay for that, I'll need to pay for my service, vehicle tax, insurance, and you know, if it needs any repairs or anything, then there is that. So I'm going to make sure I put in at least £150 a month. That includes petrol. Now, I had quite a low spending month, I feel, for petrol. I only had to put in petrol twice, which you can see here. So that was £45.64 and £37.95, which came to a total of £83.59, which gave us £66.41 to carry over. So you can see, even after the petrol comes out, that's not very much I'm carrying over. You know, that would pay almost for, let's say, my service. That's assuming nothing needed doing additionally as part of that service. So that's sort of one thing covered, but it's not covered insurance, it's not covered MOT, it's not covered repairs or anything like that. So I really do need to build this one over time. So to help that out a bit, I have decided that this month, this will be the one that takes the larger portion of money. So I'm giving £200 to car this month, which is greater than that £150 minimum spend, but it's because I want to have a bit of security here and I want to have this built up. You know, my car is getting older. I had to spend quite a bit on repairs last year, and at the minute I'm sort of in two minds about whether I get another car or keep going with this one. You know, I'm kind of thinking if I spent a lot of money on it last year, then it makes sense to, you know, keep using that to get my money's worth. But I'm in two minds. I can't see myself getting a new car this year at least, but it might be something I have to start to think about now my car is getting older, and to ensure that I'm not spending out more than it's worth. So we'll see how this year goes, but then after that, I don't really know. But just something worth mentioning, you know, I'm never gonna go for a top of the range car. I don't feel the need to do that. I paid cash for my last car because it wasn't that expensive. I would plan to do the same thing. If I got another car, I wouldn't take it out on finance or anything like that. So that's car. Next is wardrobe. So I gave myself last month, this was my sort of treat area. I've said, you know, I'm going to treat myself in places. What's the point in earning money if you can't enjoy it a little bit? I'm very big on savings, but I'm also very big on enjoying your money. So I put £100 into my wardrobe, and as you can see, I didn't spend any of it. So that's fine. That just means that money can roll over. I've not put any more in here because I've got money in here still to use. So if in February I want to buy anything, then that's absolutely fine. So that £100 has just rolled over into February, and for this month, no extra money has gone in here. So that's quite nice. That's just sat there waiting for me for when I see something that I really, really want. But I wasn't about to buy anything for the sake of it. I didn't see the point in that. The beauty one was a little bit tricky. So as I mentioned last month, I put £25 in because that would cover the cost of my moisturiser, which I haven't brought with me. I really should have. It's almost empty, but when I went onto the Glossier website, I think my moisturiser is maybe £18, which is why I put 25, because that would leave enough for the actual product and a delivery charge. But I'm really, really against paying delivery charges, especially for places where they say, you know, spend over £30 or £40 and you can get free delivery. So I've gone through all my makeup and all my beauty, and I don't actually need anything else. So I was putting it off. I thought I'll wait till February. I'll drag it out as much as I can. And because I'm sure I'll need something else in February, and then I'll buy both together and get free delivery, because I just don't want to waste money on delivery that I don't have to. And I don't need anything. I've been through everything and I don't actually need anything. So what I've done is I have put an extra £20 in there to bring us up to a total of 45, because I didn't spend the money on moisturiser last month. And I've just decided I will drag out my moisturiser as long as possible, and if I do completely run out, I will buy something that I'll just sort of, you know, keep in stock, something I know I will eventually use up, like my foundation or something. and then I will just have one spare ready to go of a product I know I'll use and love. This is just my mindset, sort of getting out of paying for delivery. I'm sure it sounds really bad and really tight, but I'm really against paying for delivery when the company offers free delivery. So I will eventually get my moisturiser, but it has taught me that I can use far less of that product than I do. So if anything, I've learned a lesson. I've been using like the tiniest amount, barely just having enough to cover my skin, but we're making it work. But I will definitely have to buy one very early on in February. So that's my situation with beauty. I didn't actually spend it, but I'm going to have to in February, and I might as well just get a backup product for something I will definitely use in order to get the free delivery. Household, super easy. I don't need any sort of frivolous housey bits, decorative bits. I didn't last month, I'm not going to this month, so it's still just an all-round 0 in that one. That was very easy. Then we have gifts. So I've done a big top up on gifts this month just because it's my husband's birthday in February, so I am going to need a little bit of spending in this area. We usually spend about £100 on our birthdays, so I put £100 in, knowing that then coming out of February, I will still have that original £60 in there, and then that can be used to build up towards Christmas. Obviously, I've then got the rest of the year to build up for Christmas, and my husband is the only person I buy gifts for out of my account. As I said before, all our other gifting comes out of our joint account. So then I won't need to put very much in each month to build this up for Christmas, which is good. The next one is entertainment. Now, I nearly got caught out in making an error with this one because I said, I don't think I need anything for January. You know, we've just had Christmas, it's been super busy, but I did actually end up going out for a meal with some of my friends, but I managed to save it. I managed to have a get out, and that was I got a bit of cash for Christmas that I hadn't spent. So I used that to pay for my meal. Therefore, I didn't have to spend on my card. I didn't have to use any of this designated money. So it really was just a get out that I happened to have. And now I know I've got to be a lot more careful about that sort of thing. And actually, it was probably really naive of me to put 0 in here because I don't go out very often and I don't socialise very often. So when that opportunity comes up, I don't think I will turn it down because it's really one of very few chances that I get throughout the year. I will probably say I meet my friends and go out with my friends once a month, maybe once every 2 months, so it's not really a common thing. But I really should have known better than to put 0 in here. But I saved it. I didn't have to dip into any other funding areas because I had a bit of cash that, you know, wasn't accounted for. It was just lying there waiting to be spent. So that was fine. And so to be sure, I have put £30 in for February in case I want to go out and do anything. So next month we are safe and covered. Which just meant in the other, there was just £30 left over in February, which then added to the £45 that I had left over in January after all the other envelopes. All together now in February, based on that rollover from January, we've got £75. So this is also just building up a little bit of a spare funds, which now can stay there and become additional savings or investments, or if I need to, I can dip into as kind of a personal emergency fund. So that is that. And that's everything. So that is my January in a nutshell. I survived everything, even that one blip. I didn't have to dip into any envelopes that I shouldn't have. I didn't go over on any of the budgets I set. So all in all, that's a really good first month. I'm now prepared going into February, and I will continue with it for another month. Let me know in the comments if you want to see sort of the next month as an update, or if you think sort of quarterly updates like I did last year would be better. I did just want to do the first one just so we could see how it went. So let me know how frequently you want these updates. Obviously they're going to be quite similar, so maybe a quarterly update would be better. Also, don't forget to update me. You know how much I like to hear about your no buys or low buys, whatever method you are using. Let me know how you're doing. I also think it helps each other so much if we share and we can talk about these things and give each other ideas and inspiration. So go ahead, pop them down into the comments. Let everyone know how you are doing. I will leave my playlists from 2020 and 2021 for my no-buys, especially if you are new. This might be helpful to you because you can see different ways in which I have done the no-buy over the first 2 years that I did them. You might get some inspiration or ideas from that, so feel free to go and check out that playlist. And as always, if you're not already, please subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out. If you enjoyed the video, remember to give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, take care. Bye.